1971, Starbucks opens its first location in Seattle's Pike Place Market, selling whole bean coffee, tea, and spices. 1982, Howard Schultz joined Starbucks as Director of Retail Operations and Marketing. 1983, on a trip to Italy, Howard Schultz is impressed with the popularity of espresso bars in Milan and sees the potential in Seattle to develop a similar coffee bar culture.
After Howard went to work with Starbucks, he took a trip to Italy. And there he found that the people of Italy knew how to convert this coffee product into a way of life.
Starbucks opens a new location in downtown Seattle. Starbucks introduces Christmas Blend. Howard Schultz founds Il Giornale, offering brewed coffee and espresso beverages made from Starbucks coffee beans. With the backing of local investors, Il Giornale acquires Starbucks assets and changes its name to Starbucks Corporation. Starbucks introduces mail-order catalogs with service to all 50 states. Headquarters in Seattle are expanded, and a new roasting plant is built. A relationship is established with CARE, the International Relief and Development Organization.
Starbucks helps CARE enrich the lives of people, and ultimately it empowers those people.
Starbucks becomes the first U.S. privately owned company to offer a stock option program that includes part-time employees.
Starbucks came up with a solution to keep their part-time workers. Unlike most businesses, they gave them health insurance and pensions. But the company also did something no other business has done before. They gave even part-timers stock options.
The initial public offering is completed, with common stock being traded on the NASDAQ national market under the trading symbol SBUX.
The company, on Friday of last week, filed a S-1 document with the Securities Exchange Commission to become a publicly traded company in the United States of America.
Starbucks begins the relationship with Barnes & Noble, and a second roasting plant is built in Kent, Washington. Based on an extremely popular in-house music program, Starbucks begins selling compact discs. Starbucks stores begin serving Frappuccino blended beverages. A state-of-the-art roasting facility in York, Pennsylvania is opened. Starbucks Coffee International forms a joint venture with Sazaby Incorporated to develop Starbucks coffee houses in Japan.
When I was a kid, I had my tonsils out. Everybody ate ice cream.
Starbucks Java Chip.
I heard that's so good. You ever had that?
Starbucks ice cream and Starbucks ice cream bars are introduced, quickly becoming the #1 brand of coffee ice cream in the United States.
This is going to be one of my hits of the year, one of the best new products that have come out, Starbucks ice cream.
North American Coffee Partnership begins selling a bottled version of Starbucks Frappuccino.
It's Frappuccino, a blend of brewed Starbucks coffee and low-fat milk and sugar.
Delicious.
Starbucks forms an alliance with 8 companies to enable the gift of more than 320,000 new books for children through the All Books for Children first annual book drive. The Starbucks Foundation is created, benefiting local literacy programs in communities where Starbucks has coffee houses.
On behalf of the Starbucks Foundation and our commitment to literacy, we are pleased to present a check in the amount of $20,000 for Literacy Chicago and their family literacy program. Thank you.
Starbucks introduces Milder Dimensions, a lighter and milder tasting line of premium coffee blends.
I think that it's important to support that. So people that really like the lighter roasted, lighter, more mild coffees are absolutely deserving of having coffees that meet their needs.
Tiazi is introduced, a blend of tea, fruit juice, and ice.
They got a new drink here. It's called the Tiazi. This is the berry Tiazi. Oh, it is marvelous on a hot day.
Starbucks acquires Seattle Coffee Company in the United Kingdom.
Afternoon tea will never be quite the same in London now that Starbucks has moved in. The locally owned company today opened its first coffee shop there. It's one of 49 stores in London that Starbucks bought from the Seattle Coffee Company.
A partnership is formed with Urban Coffee Opportunities, a joint venture with Irvin Magic Johnson to develop Starbucks coffee locations in underserved urban neighborhoods throughout the U.S. A licensing agreement is signed with Kraft Foods.
Starbucks and Kraft have agreed to market Starbucks coffee beans to many grocery stores in all 50 states. Starbucks is the nation's leading retailer of gourmet coffee, but most of its sales come from its own shops.
The alliance will be what the two companies are calling the first phase of a broader domestic and global partnership.
Starbucks.com is launched.
It's finally here! www.starbucks.com.
It's everything you'd expect to find at a Starbucks.
A dynamic online store.
Now open on the World Wide Web.
Starbucks.com. Starbucks acquires Tazo, a Portland, Oregon-based tea company.
Hello.
Out of the park, into the books is formed with home run king Mark McGwire.
I've been drinking Starbucks coffee for probably 10, 11 years, and you know, coffee's a big part of an athlete's game.
Starbucks partners with Conservation International to promote environmentally sound methods of growing coffee. Shade-grown Mexico coffee is introduced. Starbucks acquires Hear Music, a San Francisco-based music company. Starbucks enters an agreement with Albertsons to open more than 100 Starbucks locations in their supermarkets in the year 2000. Orrin Smith is promoted to president and CEO. Starbucks enters into an alliance with Transfair USA to market and sell fair trade certified coffee in more than 2,000 coffee houses in the U.S. and Starbucks.com by the end of the year. 2001. Starbucks celebrates its 30th anniversary.
So happy anniversary, Starbucks, 30 years. Here's to the next 30 years. Thank you, Seattle.
The Starbucks story continues to be written every day through the actions and decisions of its people.
With Starbucks, we have begun some very interesting social programs by which we give better education and health to the workers, and that has been very important to the workers and to the growers.
They are interested in what goes on beyond the quality of the coffee. So they are interested in the quality of the coffee. They also care about what else is going on.
Well, the idea started with Starbucks. We were discussing on a project that will help the people that work on the farms. And we had like 3 different projects, and we liked this one because we thought that it was the best way that we can help the people.
We serve 7 farms, and we have 7 little towns around here.
It has made a lot of difference. The people can come here. It doesn't cost anything to them, and they can get a medical checkup, and they can get the medicine for free, and it's been very, very helpful for them.
Pues bastante buena relación. Nos ayuda en la manera, en lo posible, pues, a la hora de la compra del café y el negocio. Y sí, muy buena atención.
When you see the flower of the coffee, the new branches, and the lot of people that is working here, and they look happy, healthy, that's very good for me.
It makes the whole difference.
Tell Starbucks that we're very gratifying and very thankful for them to make this a reality and to help a lot of people.
This clinic is a dream come true because when I was a doctor, I always wanted to help my people.
My favorite drink's grande mocha.
When I come to Starbucks, I usually grab a vanilla latte.
Hot mocha,
Americano.
non-fat.
Caramel macchiato.
Short hazelnut non-fat latte.
Tall iced vanilla latte. Double tall Americano.
4 shots over ice.
Skinny mocha.
2 pumps of chocolate.
Iced Americano. With whipped cream.
2 pumps of raspberry.
A non-fat latte. Tall Americano.
Like double short, non-sweet, half full, vanilla Americano. Latte.
It's the caramel macchiato.
Double tall latte, not too hot, with 4 raw sugars.
My favorite drink is a double tall, 1 pump of chocolate, 2%, 1 raw sugar with whipped mocha.
Oh gosh, I've been a Starbucks customer for 6, 7, 8 years. I can't even remember how far back.
Boy, I've been a Starbucks customer probably about 10 years.
I have been a Starbucks customer for about 7 years.
About 3 years.
Well, this is the second store I've been in today.
I'll never forget the time that I had a new customer had come in and I had mischarged her. And she came in the next day, unaware that she'd been mischarged. And when I rang her through, I remembered, oh gosh. So I quickly, recovered, gave her a service recovery coupon, whatever, bought her drink. And she became our regular customer every day, every lunch day. She was there with her book in the comfy chair, and my mistake.
Best part of my job is welcoming the customers. If I could stand at the door every day and just say, come on in, I have some coffee made for you. And that's the best part. Bringing them in, it's like bringing them to your house. Bringing them in, welcoming them in, and taking care of what they need.
To me, one of my favorite experiences was last winter in the hustle bustle of the holiday season. We had a customer come into our store who I had not seen in a long time. She was a regular customer. And she was standing at the retail wall, so I walked over to her and asked if I could help her. And she said no, she hadn't been feeling well for a week and hadn't been to the store, but had finally decided to come in today. And she really wasn't in the mood for anything to drink. Coffee didn't sound very good to her. So she said she didn't need any help. She was just there to watch the partners in the store. And she wanted a place where she was going to feel good. And she came to our store to feel good.
Coffee buyers at Starbucks have the opportunity to travel all around the world to all of the different countries that grow coffee for us. We really have a fabulous opportunity to see the coffee growing in the farms, to meet the farmers. We walk through the farms with them. They explain to us the process that they're using. We go through the fields and see the coffee flowering during the period of time right after the rainy season, where the coffee is beginning to become cherries. As time goes by, the little seeds become green cherries and then red cherries. And as the coffee ripens on the trees, the leaves become very, very dark green and the cherries are bright, bright red. They're small and about the size of a cranberry. They're very, very sweet when you bite into them. And then they take them into the mills and begin to pulp the seeds out of the cherries. Once those seeds are pulped, the pulp is taken away and used for fertilizer and composting. And the coffee goes into the fermentation tanks for a few hours, and then it's washed and put onto the patios. The coffee's dried on the patios in the sun for anywhere from 3 to 8 days. Sometimes they dry it in mechanical dryers if they don't have patio space or the weather isn't exactly right for outdoor drying.
This is the mill called Santiago del Lago in Atitlan. It's on the shores of Lake Atitlan, as you can see here. The farmers bring the coffee in very, very small parcels. It goes into the fermentation process and the pulping process, then the fermentation process over here, goes through washing channels and ends up right here on the patios where the parchment is continually cleaned by hand. When they sell the milled coffee in this form, which we call parchment, they get a much higher price. So the farmers are very, very happy with the way the milling process has worked out, and they're very pleased with the way the exporter has handled their coffee, and they're very happy to be in partnership with Starbucks. They think that it's really special to have a company in the United States that buys coffee and is so concerned about the quality, and we have quite a great relationship.
Then the coffee is brought into mills where they sort the green coffee into different qualities. Those qualities are then chosen by us to be tasted. We taste coffee in the origin countries, in the offices of the exporters, or in some of the farms they have those facilities, and we taste the coffee there. During that part of the process, we begin to choose the coffees that we will buy later on, and we choose the coffees that we want to be sent to us for tasting in Seattle. After that is finished, the quality of the coffee is chosen by us, and we have pre-shipment samples from the coffee bags that are then loaded into containers and shipped to us where the Starbucks roasting process begins.
When the green coffee arrives at a Starbucks roasting plant, the first team to see the coffee are the devanners. These are the people that remove the coffee from the trailers that ride on the ships from the origin countries. When they arrive here, our partners take the bags out of the trailers, put the bags on pallets, stack the pallets in the warehouse, and they sample 10% of the bags. What they do with the sample, they bring it to the tasting room. A small sample of that coffee is roasted, and a cupping is done from that roasted coffee. Notes are compared from this cupping to the cupping of this coffee when it was offered to the company, and the pre-shipment sample that's sent from the country of origin before the coffee leaves the country. If we approve the coffee at this stage, it's given a usage code, and it's put into production in a first-in, first-out order. It goes to our loading dock, it's loaded into the system, and we roast that coffee. This is roasting. This is where we roast coffee at Starbucks. When I started roasting in the 1980s, I started roasting 40-pound loads of coffee. The coffee that'll come out in this load here weighs 400 pounds. The large roasters behind me are producing 600-pound loads. All of the quality standards are the same. The breakthrough was we now have a computerized control system that allows us to capture a good roast curve and consistently roast that coffee on that consistent curve. This technology has allowed us to produce way more consistent and high quality coffee than we were able to in the past. We're in packaging. This is where Starbucks puts coffee in the bag with the one-way valve. This valve has allowed us to package our coffee fresh. Improvements made in this process and in the package's oxygen content have lengthened the shelf life and allowed Starbucks to sell our coffee as far away as in Australia. Before this bag, we were limited to a 7-day shelf life, and we couldn't expand the company. This bag has helped us expand the company all over the world. When I first started working for Starbucks in the early 1980s, a lot of coffee and other merchandise was delivered out to our stores on a daily basis, and a lot of it went there in the back seat of our cars after work in the evening. We didn't have forecasting, we didn't have demand forecasting or scheduling. There were a lot of emergencies and a lot of emergency orders, and a lot of customers went without coffee. Now that we have all of this technology in place, we're shipping more product, more coffee out to more customers every day, and people all over the world are able to enjoy the Starbucks experience.
What is it that people are responding to? Why has Starbucks struck a chord in so many places? What need are we really fulfilling?
Espresso. Espresso. Espresso.
Third place is also the coffee break state of mind. It's an elevated or reflective moment. A moment that matters.